Any person who is planning to skip my words or run away from my presence will eventually face hell. Yes, my child, a punishment will fall upon their life, and they will be left to wrestle with the emptiness they chose, not because I delight in suffering, but because separation from me is the natural consequence of refusing the source of life. Hear me carefully, for my heart is not cruel, nor are my words spoken in rage. I speak as a father whose children wander toward a fire while ignoring the warmth of his arms. When I warn you, it is love that speaks, not hatred. When I correct you, it is mercy that moves my hand, not vengeance. I did not create you to be lost. I did not breathe life into your lungs so you could drown in darkness or chase shadows that cannot hold you. I formed you with intention, with care beyond your understanding. Before your days were written, I knew your name. I saw your tears before they ever fell, and I prepared comfort for you long before you learned how to cry. Do you think I would casually abandon what I have so carefully made? No, my child. I pursue you because you matter to me more than you can imagine. Yet understand this truth. I will not force you to love me. Love that is compelled is not love at all. I place before you life and death, light and darkness, truth and deception. You are given the dignity of choice, and with that choice comes responsibility. When you turn your back on my voice, when you silence my whispers and harden your heart, you step away from protection into a wilderness of your own making. I do not push you there. You walk there by refusing to listen. Many say they want my blessings but not my presence. They desire my gifts but reject my guidance. They ask for peace while clinging to chaos, and they beg for direction while refusing to take the path I show them. This grieves me deeply. How can you receive the fruit while cutting yourself off from the tree? How can you drink living water while sealing your lips against the spring? I have spoken in many ways. I have spoken through truth written long ago, through quiet convictions in your heart, through moments of stillness where your soul knew you were not alone. I have spoken through correction that stung, through doors that closed for your protection, through delays that saved you from destruction. Even now I am speaking to you. If you are hearing these words, it is because I am calling you, not condemning you. Do not mistake my patience for indifference. I am slow to anger, rich in mercy, but I am also just. The universe stands because my word holds it together, and that word does not change to suit human pride. When people continually mock what is holy, when they trample truth and celebrate what destroys them, they are not escaping consequences. They are storing them. The pain that follows is not proof that I have failed them, but evidence that my warnings were true. Still, listen to me. Even in judgment, my desire is redemption. Even when you fall, I extend my hand. Even when you have run far, I know exactly where you are. No darkness is thick enough to hide you from me, and no sin is too heavy for my mercy when there is genuine repentance. I do not measure you by your worst moment. I look at your heart and see who you can become when you surrender. Why do you cling to what is killing you? Why do you defend the very chains that bind you? You were not made for bondage. You were made for freedom. But freedom is found in truth, not in rebellion. The world tells you that obedience is weakness, that humility is foolish, that surrender is loss. These are lies that have trapped many souls. When you surrender to me, you do not lose yourself. You finally find who you were always meant to be. I know your fears. I know the questions you are afraid to ask. I know the wounds that still ache, the betrayals that reshaped how you trust, the disappointments that made you doubt my goodness. I was there when they happened, even when you did not feel me. I was there, restraining what could have destroyed you completely, weeping with you even when you cursed my name. Your pain did not push me away. It drew me closer. Some of you are tired, not because you have done too much, but because you have carried what was never yours to bear. You have tried to be your own savior, your own guide, your own source of strength, and it has left you empty. Come to me. Lay it down. I do not ask you to clean yourself before you approach me. I ask you to come as you are, and allow me to do what you cannot. There are consequences for rejecting my voice. Yes, but do not misunderstand me. Hell is not my desire for you. Separation is not my dream for your eternity. That is why I warn you. That is why I call out again and again, even when you ignore me. That is why I give you time, opportunities, and reminders of my presence. If I were indifferent, I would be silent. My warnings are proof that I still care. The world is growing louder, and my voice is often drowned out by distractions, pleasures, and fears. Many no longer recognize my truth because they have trained their ears to prefer comfort over conviction. But my truth remains steady and unchanging. It does not bend to trends or bow to popular opinion. It stands waiting for those who are brave enough to listen. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for honesty. I am not asking you to have all the answers. I am asking you to trust me with the questions. When you fall, get up and come to me. When you doubt, bring your doubt to me instead of letting it rot in silence. When you are angry, speak to me rather than turning away. I can handle your emotions. I cannot force a relationship you refuse to enter. Do not delay thinking you have endless time. Life is fragile, and hearts can harden quietly. Every time you say no to my voice, it becomes easier to say no again. Every time you ignore truth, deception gains ground. This is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. Today is an invitation. Today is mercy extended once more. I see those who secretly long for me but are afraid of what surrender will cost them. Hear me. Whatever you think you will lose is nothing compared to what you will gain. I restore what the enemy steals. I heal what has been broken. I redeem years that seem wasted. I bring beauty from ashes, purpose from pain, and life from death. No one who truly comes to me leaves unchanged, but that change is life-giving, not destructive. You are not too far gone. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond hope. As long as you have breath, the door of grace remains open. But do not confuse grace with permission to continue in what destroys you. Grace is the power to change, the strength to turn, the courage to begin again. Do not treat my mercy as something common, as though it were endless rain that will fall whether you plant or not. My mercy is deep, yes, but it is not careless. It is costly. It flows from my love, but it also carries my holiness. When you take my mercy for granted, you misunderstand my heart and misjudge my nature. I am not a distant force that excuses everything, nor am I a gentle voice that never corrects. I am holy love, and love that is holy does not ignore what destroys the beloved. I extend mercy so that you may turn, not so that you may continue unchanged. Mercy is an invitation, not a license. When I forgive, it is to restore you, not to encourage you to remain in what wounds your soul. When I delay judgment, it is not because I approve of disobedience, but because I desire repentance. Do not confuse my patience with permission. Every breath you take is a gift, and every gift carries purpose. There are many who say God is merciful, and yet they live as though my instructions are optional suggestions. They speak my name while disregarding my ways. This grieves me because my commands are not burdens meant to restrict you. They are boundaries meant to protect you. I do not ask you to walk in truth to prove your worth. I ask you to walk in truth because it leads to life. When you reject what I ask, you are not rebelling against rules. You are rejecting wisdom. Understand this. Mercy does not erase responsibility. Forgiveness does not cancel consequence. I can forgive a wound you caused, but the scar may remain as a reminder of why my ways matter. This is not cruelty, it is instruction. I teach not only through blessing but also through correction. A child who is never corrected does not grow in freedom. They grow in danger. So it is with the soul. I have asked humanity to love, to act justly, to walk humbly, to care for the vulnerable, to speak truth, to forgive as they have been forgiven. These are not lofty ideals meant only for the strong. They are the foundation of what it means to be human as I designed you. When you refuse to live this way, the world fractures, relationships decay, and hearts grow cold. You see the consequences everywhere, yet many still refuse to acknowledge the cause. Do not say you love me while hating your brother. Do not pray for mercy while refusing to show it. Do not ask me to heal what you continually poison with pride, greed, and selfishness. I see not only your actions, but the intentions beneath them. You may deceive others, and you may even deceive yourself, but you do not deceive me. Still I wait, because my desire is not to expose you to shame, but to draw you into truth. When I ask you to forgive, it is not because the wrong done to you was small. I know its weight. I know the injustice. I know the pain that lingers long after the words were spoken or the actions committed. I ask you to forgive because unforgiveness will imprison you. I do not demand this from a place of indifference, but from wisdom born of love. What you release into my hands, I will judge rightly. What you cling to in bitterness will judge you instead. When I ask you to live with integrity, it is because deception corrodes the soul. Lies, even small ones, shape a heart that no longer recognizes truth. When I ask you to be faithful, it is because betrayal fractures trust in ways that echo far beyond the moment. When I ask you to be generous, it is because greed shrinks your capacity to love. Every instruction I give is rooted in who I am and who you were created to be. Do not assume that tomorrow will always be available for obedience. Delay is one of the enemy's most effective tools. He whispers that you can change later, forgive later, surrender later. But later hardens into habit, and habit shapes destiny. When you ignore my voice today, it becomes quieter tomorrow, not because I stop speaking, but because your heart becomes accustomed to silence. I have shown you what goodness looks like, not only through words, but through action. I stepped into your brokenness. I carried suffering. I endured rejection. I showed you that love is not passive, that obedience is not weakness, that sacrifice is not loss. If I, who am perfect, walked in humility and obedience, why do you think you are exempt? I did not ask you to do what I was unwilling to do myself. Taking my mercy for granted reveals a heart that has forgotten the cost of love. It forgets that forgiveness required blood, that grace required sacrifice, that reconciliation required surrender. When you cheapen mercy, you cheapen love itself. But when you honor mercy, it transforms you. Gratitude leads to obedience, not fear. Reverence leads to joy, not bondage. I am not impressed by words spoken loudly and lives lived carelessly. I look for faithfulness in quiet choices, in unseen moments, in decisions made when no one is watching. Obedience in the small things shapes the soul for greater trust. If you disregard my guidance when it is inconvenient, you will struggle to follow it when it is costly. You were not created to drift through life, reacting to circumstances. You were created to reflect my character. This world needs compassion that does not grow weary, truth that does not compromise, love that does not depend on convenience. When you live as I ask, you become a light, not by effort alone, but by alignment with who I am. Obedience aligns you with life itself. Many fear that doing what I ask will strip them of joy, but this fear is born of misunderstanding. True joy is not found in self-indulgence, but in purpose. Peace is not found in avoiding truth, but in walking in it. Freedom is not found in rejecting my authority, but in trusting it. I see the end from the beginning. You see only the moment. Trust me when I tell you that my way leads to life. Do not wait for a crisis to take me seriously. Do not wait until loss forces your attention. I am not only present in desperation, I am present in daily obedience. Honor me when things are calm, when blessings surround you, when life feels stable. Gratitude and abundance reveal sincerity of heart more than prayers in distress. I do not demand perfection, but I do ask for faithfulness. When you fall, return quickly. When you fail, do not hide. Confession restores what pride destroys. Humility opens doors that stubbornness keeps locked. I resist the proud not because I dislike them, but because pride prevents them from receiving what I long to give. Remember that every command I give is an expression of love. Every warning is an act of mercy. Every correction is a sign that I have not given up on you. If I were silent, you should fear. My voice, even when firm, is evidence of relationship. Listen to it. Respond to it. Treasure it. You are stewards of time, of words, of resources, of influence. What you do with what I have entrusted to you matters. Mercy does not erase accountability. It makes it meaningful. One day you will see clearly how every choice shaped your soul. Live now with that clarity in mind, not in fear, but in wisdom. I ask you to love me not only with words, but with your life. To honor me not only in worship, but in obedience. To trust me not only when it is easy, but when it costs you comfort. This is not loss. This is alignment with truth. This is how you become fully alive. My beloved child, I speak blessing over you now, not as a distant voice, but as the one who formed you, knows you, and delights in you. I place my hand upon your life, and I declare that you are seen, you are known, and you are cherished beyond what words can contain. You are not an accident of time or circumstance. You are the intention of my heart, created with care, sustained by grace, and surrounded by my presence even when you are unaware of it. I bless your mind with clarity and truth. May confusion lose its grip over your thoughts, and may wisdom rise within you like light at dawn. Where there has been overthinking, I bring peace. Where lies once whispered doubt, I plant truth that cannot be shaken. I give you discernment to recognize my voice above every other sound, and courage to follow it even when the path is narrow. Your mind will not be ruled by fear, for I have given you a sound and steady spirit. I bless your heart with healing. Every wound you have carried in silence, every disappointment you buried deep, every tear you cried when no one saw, I have counted them all. I now speak restoration over the places that were broken by betrayal, neglect, or loss. I replace heaviness with hope, bitterness with forgiveness, and weariness with renewed strength. Your heart will beat again with joy, not fragile joy, but deep joy rooted in my faithfulness. I bless your body with strength and vitality. I know where you have felt weak, exhausted, or limited. I speak life into your bones, peace into your nerves, and rest into your soul. Learn to rest in me without guilt, for rest is not laziness but trust. As you honor what I have given you, I will sustain you with the strength you need for every season ahead. I bless your steps with direction. You will not wander aimlessly, nor will you be led astray by voices that do not love you. Even when you feel uncertain, I will order your steps quietly and faithfully. Doors meant for you will open at the right time, and doors that would harm you will remain closed, even if you do not understand why. Trust that delays are not denials, and redirections are acts of mercy. I bless your work and your efforts. The labor you offer with sincerity, I will multiply in ways you cannot predict. I see what you do when no one applauds, and I honor faithfulness more than success. May your hands be diligent, your intentions pure, and your outcomes aligned with my will. You will not labor in vain when your work is surrendered to me. I bless your relationships. I remove connections that drain your spirit and bring confusion. and I establish relationships that sharpen you, support you, and draw you closer to truth. You will be surrounded by those who speak life, not flattery, truth, not manipulation, love, not control. Where loneliness once lingered, I will bring meaningful connection at the right time. I bless your voice. What you speak will carry weight, not because it is loud, but because it is sincere. I place kindness on your tongue and truth in your words. You will know when to speak and when to remain silent. Your words will heal more than they wound, build more than they tear down, and reflect my heart more than your emotions. I bless your faith. Even when it feels small, I will nurture it. Even when doubt tries to overshadow it, I will protect it. You will grow, not by force, but by abiding in me. You will learn to trust me not only in moments of desperation, but in moments of abundance. Your faith will become a refuge, not a burden, and a source of strength, not fear. I bless your future. You do not walk into tomorrow alone. I am already there. I have prepared what you need for what is coming. Do not fear the unknown, for I am the God who goes before you. What awaits you will shape you, but it will not destroy you. I will use every season, both joyful and painful, to refine you, strengthen you, and draw you closer to me. I bless you with peace that surpasses understanding, not peace that depends on circumstances, but peace that remains steady in the midst of uncertainty. When storms rise, you will not be overtaken. When trials come, you will not be abandoned. I am your refuge and your strength, always present, always faithful. I bless you with purpose. Your life has meaning far beyond what you see now. Every step of obedience matters. Every act of love counts. Every moment you choose truth over convenience shapes eternity. You are part of a greater story, and your obedience releases blessings not only for you, but for generations after you. Walk forward, my child, covered by my grace, guided by my wisdom, strengthened by my spirit. I am with you. I delight in you, and I bless you now and always.